Wow, 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 wow.
Big
Giancarlo.
Let the rhythm take you over.
Oh, hello and welcome to another player profile and projection here on Talkin Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. Code Yanks. We're talking about the big fella, Giancarlo Michael Cruz Stanton. Is that the correct order?
Mike Stanton. Don't be that guy. Reminder. Giancarlo, Jimmy.
A little,
Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton.
a little teaser for the people. We just kind of said to each other, what did we say? What was last year? What's going on? Like,
It's one of the weirder stat lines I think you'll run into.
ended up playing 110 games.
Right?
The stat line is awful for Stanton. Like, it is. I know it's above average, Jake, but
Yeah.
Especially after the good start.
it's awful.
No.
It's a bad slash line. You got 31 homers. He had a nice homer in one of the coolest games of the whole entire season. He had the walk-off bullet, and that's nice, but not Stanton.
What's going on, guys? Spring training is in full tilt, and with SeatGeek, code JOHNBOY preseason, you can get 15% off any order to anything you want, wherever there's a seat. Just make sure you're using SeatGeek JOHNBOY preseason. Go get it. No, he has a career 141 OPS plus. With the Yankees, up until last season, he had a 134 OPS plus, 34% better than your average hitter. Last year, he landed at 113. And it's because everything was a homer. When he hit it, he had 31 homers in 110 games. Pretty nuts. But he had an awful second half. He got hurt. BBD reminded me of this before we start going. All-Star Game MVP, Giancarlo Stanton.
And was hurt when he played in that and then didn't play for a while after that.
Yeah.
I don't think he played. Like, they put him on the IL before the second half started up again.
I mean, with the Yankees, up until last year, 338 games. 2 full seasons and pieces from the others. 269, 353, 864 OPS. 211, 297. Like, that's not him. So he got hurt. I think he tried to play through it. I think it didn't work well.
Damn, his slash line at the break was good.
It was Stanton.
It's like the average was a little lower than we normally would have him, but it was fine.
It was also a down year for offense.
Yeah.
So those numbers.
And the month before, it was kind of exactly right. So.
Yeah, July 16th. Well, I don't really know. I don't like that batting average, but
That was a little low for where Stanton typically is, but homers were there.
It was a down offensive year. OPS plus, he was 133, which has been where he's been with the Yankees. And then it was just bad second half. 151, 582 OPS. That's...
What, did he have to be battling something? He struggled with
Yes.
fastballs all year. Couldn't play the outfield.
Well, that was also something we were laughing at before we hopped on the mic. He played 37 games in the outfield.
Well, he started the year playing a decent amount, which was nice.
And when he played the outfield, his numbers are better, but that's because towards the end of the year when he was bad, he was only DHing because he was hurt.
Yeah. First 40 games of the season, he started in the outfield, 19 of them. That's close to half.
All right.
Close. I'm not going to say it's half, but it's close to half.
As close to half as you can get, right?
Yeah. And then he didn't for a little bit. Andujar was up. And then he did again. And then he got hurt. And then he never did again until ever.
Yeah.
ALCS.
Till the ALCS.
when it matters.
They played him Yankee Stadium left field.
So what's the plan?
And Minute Maid, but
What's the plan next year? He's clearly better when he's playing the outfield, but he's also clearly healthier when he's playing the outfield.
Right.
So it's a little chicken or the egg. Right. Well, he's better when he's playing the outfield. He's healthy.
Right.
When he's just DHing, it's because he's banged up.
Yeah. He's 33 years old now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Younger than us.
Him and Canley, same age. Stan being younger than you is
hilarious.
Look and Wandy being younger than you?
Yeah. I look like a child. I don't know, man, because there's no place for him to play in the outfield.
Well,
Judge plays right.
There's places. You can move Judge to center and Bader to left. La, 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 la.
You know, I don't hate it, but I don't believe the Yankees will do that.
Yeah, me neither.
So,
give Judge one DH day a week, and there's a right field day. But yeah,
it always felt like the solution was going to be like Judge moved to left, but they never did that.
Well, they got the judges' chambers.
It's true.
They moved him to center.
I don't know, man. I honestly, Stanton is going to play. He's going to primarily DH. When he runs hot and cold, he's going to get hurt. And it's just how much of each of those things is going to happen. Like, I don't know. I know that's not a great player profile and projection, but it's the honest truth, man.
Can you go to the Baseball Reference page and just look at the 2022 Yankees main page and then, like, Carpenter's skin tone?
Ooh.
It's just, like, off.
He looks gray.
He looks sickly.
He looks on his
jaundice.
He looks like he has jaundice.
And that picture must be from with the Yankees because he's stashed.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they photoshopped him from
clearly
his
different
picture.
lighting than everyone else.
Yeah.
Different day.
Yeah.
But not good look for him. He's off the team. It's Giancarlo. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I want him to play, and I want him to be really good.
I have some questions.
Okay.
James, in 2022, Giancarlo Stanton played 38 games in the outfield.
Yeah.
21, he played 26 games in the outfield.
Yeah.
Let's see. Going back to 2019. Oh, that was the year he's hurt. 2018, 72 games in the outfield. So, I don't know. He played 38 games in the outfield last year. Will he do that again?
I don't even know.
Right.
If that's a goal of anyone. Probably him. If he could play the outfield, they need a spot for him. They're trying to get a left fielder. They've been public about that. So then he's DH. Has he ever had good numbers as DH on a year?
Like full season DH. Or, I mean, even, it looks, 2021, he DH'd 110 of his 139 games. 108 of 139. And in 2021, he had a nice season. 273, 354, 870 OPS.
Well, that's good.
So
count that.
I mean, the way they treat him, and I feel like we've
2018, he had good numbers at DH2. 86 games, half the year. Really good numbers. Is that the one you just said? You said
2021.
2021.
His numbers are better when he did play the outfield in 2021, as they were last year.
But that's still good numbers as DH in 2021.
It's hard to do.
843 OPS. In 2018, he was really good when he was DH only. 942 OPS. So he has done it. So that's their plan.
It is their plan.
But why then like don't play him? Why did he start playing the outfield last year? Because Gallo was awful and Hicks was hurt, or Hicks was
I think
playing?
they came into the year with the plan to work him in there because he was so much better in 21 and seemed like revitalized.
Because their
when he
best
mixed it
lineup
in.
would be him in the outfield.
I think they came into last year with the plan to
Because
cycle
they had
him around.
DJ Donaldson, Glaber. So
Donaldson was going to have to DH.
Their best
twice a
lineup
week.
if everything was perfect, it would have been Towers, like DJ or Donaldson at DH.
That's not the case this year.
It's not.
The Towers.
They need hitters.
Yeah, they need Stanton in the lineup at DH is better than anyone else at DH.
Yeah.
You have rest days for sure, but I'm not pining for Josh Donaldson to hit only. That's obviously pining from the field only, if anything.
Right.
So they should cut out the outfield then, Stan. They think it's leading to injuries, but then they also think that the outfield's keeping him healthy.
Right.
Because it keeps him active. So the whole thing's a catch-22.
Yeah.
We're in year 3 and we don't really know how to handle this. I just want him to, when he's playing, to mash and not just be the average on base. It can't be what it was last year. It just can't.
Yeah.
He historically has a pretty good average. We're not asking him to do something he doesn't normally do.
And I mean, he's got to be, I'd have to get in the numbers, and I don't know if they're on our sheet, but he's a righty who gets shift on. He should stumble into a couple more hits, right?
Ooh.
Can't imagine it'll hurt him.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess you may say I'm a dreamer.
You're not the only one.
He could play the outfield once or twice a week. And you have Judge and Stanton. You either DH Judge or you have Judge play center if he still wants to do that.
If Judge does each of those,
Like right field at the stadium, Giancarlo can do that. He takes really nice routes to fly balls. He obviously, depending on how he's feeling, either runs slow or can't run at this point. I do think there's something to keeping him active and playing the outfield. So when you get to Houston in October, he can play the left field there. I don't know.
Yeah, but with the DH now, you can just have him DH in the World Series. You don't need to prep for all that anymore.
Right, but it would be a nice...
It's nice to know you can.
It would be nice to have in the bag if, I don't know, if anyone else needs to DH.
If DJ's banged up but is able to hit, not like last year's injury.
DJ Rizzo.
Couldn't hit through that, but...
What is... They have, shift metrics here, but they have strategic.
Mm.
I don't know what... they have defensive alignment. You can choose shift or strategic. I guess I'll just unclick shift and see what the hell strategic is.
I have some good news.
Let's hear it.
Horrible BABIP last year.
Well, that could be shift or slow runner. It's not always...
Was that him just not squaring the ball up enough? I guess he did, because he squared the ball up enough because he hit 31 homers. But
it was about 100 points below his career average. So, yes, I think there's some injury. Yes, I think he wasn't playing as good as he normally does. But that should trend up, so I like that.
It's an outlier from his other years, so
it's not like he was
to think that there's some bad luck.
Not like he was beating out infield singles the previous season, so that's a good sign.
Remember when he first came over and he was?
No.
Yeah, he was getting the most... Because, the ball would bounce off the players because it was so... I'm not seeing any, in the strategic alignment, any outs that are because of... That won't happen with the rules next year. If that makes sense.
A little bit.
I'm watching a lot of his infield outs... And all of them are legal defensive alignments.
Okay. None of those guy behind the second base bag? None of that?
None yet, but I'm looking at strategic. I'll change it to shift now. Okay. And I'm looking at exit velocity over 90 miles per hour out.
Right. Right.
Now I'm looking at shift.
Oh, getting a call.
Who's it from?
Nobody I know.
Nice.
Send a voicemail? Amp, we're back.
Okay, I found one.
Okay, there's a hit.
Uh,
Maybe.
The shortstop could play there, but would he be? The second baseman's playing there.
I don't think so. That's the V.
Yeah.
So,
So I found one.
I mean, we still love Stanton as a human.
Well, I think he can have
awesome.
a bounce back year too. I just
Absolutely.
don't know what it looks like and what the plan is really.
I guess that's where we're in an interesting spot.
Found another one.
Okay, here's a couple hits. Normally, we have an elevator pitch if we get.
I found another.
Let's go. Shifts, BABIP, huge bounce back year from Stanton.
They're all the Blue Jays.
Let's say we run the Yankees.
They're all the Blue Jays. They're the only team that shifted on them like this?
Hate that.
Interesting.
What would we tell the organization to do? DH him every day, and that's where we're at?
Yeah.
That's where we're kind of in a pickle.
He can be the right field when Judge DHs. Once every 2 weeks. Once a week.
Once every homestand.
Yeah, once every homestand.
It's like we'll Judge DH 1 day a week, center field 1 day a week. DH once every 2 weeks.
That's
center
so
field
little.
once every 2 weeks.
One right field start.
How many homestands are there in a season?
I don't think that's like a set number.
I don't know.
Sort of just depends.
It's a great
And there's
question.
That is a good question.
2 or 3.
It's-
You get
'Cause
2 or
is it-
3.
is it a set
27
number?
Series.
You get 2 or 3 series of homestand.
Like sometimes it's 3 series in a row at home. Sometimes you're just back for one
Let's
set.
call it 2.5, 2.3.
I wonder if there is like, is that
80?
like a PA thing, like amount of like miles teams
Yeah.
are typically.
What's
supposed to
81
travel or
divided by
something.
2.3 again?
Why don't you just do 81 divided by 3?
2.3. Because sometimes they have 1 game home sets, one series. Sometimes they have 2.
Okay, but they have 27 series. If you just divide it by 3 at home, 81 games, divided by 3 is 27. So now divide 27 by 7.
I have no idea how you got
That's
there.
Well, 81
Just-
games at home, right? Correct?
Correct.
27.
If you say the average series is 3 games,
Okay.
so you're going to have 27 home
And I think now-
series. Just doing fundamental, like down the middle averages. You're with me there?
Kind of.
between 2s and 4s, you land at 3 being the average.
Yeah, and it's the normal. They did away with 2-game series
Right,
this year.
Yeah.
And now, so 27 home series. Clump them into just, would the average homestand, you say, be 6 games or 9 games if we're just doing 3-game series?
That's where my 2.2 number came in. I think it leans
2.5.
towards 6,
Well, then it would
but
be.
there's also a chunk of 9s.
It's going to be 4.5 homestands.
That's
Seems
not
light.
right.
That's so wrong.
Seems light.
Those
Divided by
numbers-
2.5, which would be between 2 and 3 series, be just under 11, which also feels light. But maybe if you think
No,
that
11 feels
closer.
good.
I would have guessed a tick above that, but
Be interesting if it's a set number that you have to have. And I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Okay. We should get back to Stanton, I think.
Sure. I don't have anything else to say, though. They had 13 homestands last year.
Okay.
So,
Okay. What was I trying to divide 2.2 into? Tough to say. Be good, Stanton.
and they had 13 the year before.
Okay.
I wonder if it's 13, because then we're talking about 13 starts in right field for Stanton.
Right.
Not worth it.
No.
well,
Not
then,
anything.
Well, then he'd get 2 at Fenway, 2 and then 1 at Houston. So that's 16.
12 in 2019. And that's counting one that was just 2 games against the Mets, which I don't even count. So really, that's 11.
Homers, games played in the outfield. What do we do for Stanton's over-under?
Homers will come, as we saw. He can have a bad slash line, and homers will come. So I actually want him to add more than Chris Carter slash lines and homers.
Right. And he will.
Well, he didn't last year, so that's what I need.
So batting average?
If you want to combine it into OPS, because if we're saying the slugging's going to be there, we need the rest there.
So his career with the Yankees up until last year, 269, 353, 864 OPS. 850 OPS, that's kind of the...
Yeah, I don't need a career best, obviously, but just in the 800s minimum.
You need to be that Giancarlo Stanton.
800s minimum.
The other team's got to be scared when you come to the plate.
I'll say this. If it's another year where the OPS starts with a 7, and now it's the first time ever he has, last year's the first time ever his OPS starts with a 7. Now you get 2 of those in a row.
Right.
It starts looking really scary.
Yeah.
So it needs to get back up to the 8s, if like 850 for sure, but 820 minimum. Now I just raised the minimum from 800 to 820.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting nervous.
You know why, Jim? Because he's really good.
He's really good. Do you think he's going to change his approach?
No. I
think sometimes he
just needs to be healthy.
You do a year like this, maybe it's
he
like
was hurt. Shit. He was hurt. Be healthy, G.
Okay. Be healthy, G.
Give me 125 games. 850 OPS plus. Ready for October.
850 OPS. 850 OPS plus would be pretty cool, though.
Bye.
Looks like Jake slumped.
Just my little
Ba, da, da, da.